These are the warm-up problems from Chapter 4, Section 7. They deal with some examples of the kinds of situations you might find yourself needing to use decimals in calculations. I'm gonna do these without a calculator, and then we might go back and use the calculator to check them. But so here we go. Oh wow, wouldn't it be nice if gas was this cheap again? So it was, according to this, it's $1.38 if you buy it with a credit card, and it's 7 cents a gallon less if you pay with cash. Let's see, Parker's has something similar, but a little different deal, I think. But anyhow, so here we go. And how much did you save by filling up a 15-gallon tank if you're paying for the cash? We got a couple of ways we can do this. One of the easiest ways to do it is just to kind of cut to the chase, so to speak. And here's what I mean by that. I mean that if, in fact, you are going to save 7 cents per gallon and you're going to be buying 15 gallons, then all you're interested in is not the question is not how much did you pay in total under the options. It's just how much did you save. So how much was the saving? It was 7 cents a gallon, and we got how many gallons? 15 gallons. So I'm just going to say it's going to be 15 multiplied times the savings, and we're going to get what? 105, and I'm going to do the zeros, I'll count off. And so I'm going to save $1.05. So I'm going to save, so the answer to one should be D, and it is. I'm saved $1.05. We could figure out the cost with and without to do, and I'm not going to do it, but we could say, well, it's 15 times $1.38 versus, and what would the cost per gallon be after you save the 7 cents? Well, it would be $1.31. And so you can multiply this times 15, the $1.38 times 15, and then the difference between these two should be that this one is $1.05 less. Now here's one where an individual has some money and he's spending money, which we all do. But let's see if we can set this up like we might see it if we were keeping up with it in a little checkbook. So we would say beginning was $1,489.92. And then first check was wrote for $12.92, and the second check was for $27.45, and the third check was $162.09. And then he added back, I'll put that over maybe here, he added back $730.43. I'm not all that neat, but hope you're getting the idea. Well, we've got two ways we can do this. We can either do these individually and get the individual amount, so we can just add these together and see what the total reductions are, subtract it, and then add that. So we might as well do it the long way since we doing this, right? So here we go. So subtract $12.92 from this one, and you're going to get what? You're going to get 0, 0. 9 minus 2 is 7. 8 minus 1 is 7. 14, that's how much he has after that check. Now we're going to subtract $27.45, and we'll have to do a little regrouping here. 5 from 10 is 5. 4 from 9 is 5. A little more regrouping. 7 from 16 is 9. 2 from 6 is 4. And so we got 1449.55, and now we're going to subtract 162.09 from that, and a little more regrouping here. 15 minus 9 is 6. 4 minus 0 is 4. 9 minus 2 is what? 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. A little regrouping here. 14 minus 6 is 8. And 3 minus 1 is 2. And he's got 1,280. This was a 7, right? Yeah. He's got $1,287.46. And then he deposits $730.43, which should give him 6 and 3 this should be the new amount now. This will be a plus amount here. So this will be a 9, 8, 7, 11, 3, what in the world did I do wrong here? Nothing. I got $2,017.89. I had to go back and check my numbers. Sorry for the silence. Okay, so obviously this is tedious, and we can do work on a calculator and check it, but I think the answer is going to be this answer here, $2,017.89, which is answer choice B is 2B. 2 is B, and we didn't check 1, but it was D. Now, certainly, most of us, honestly, are going to do this kind of work on a calculator. So we can kind of roll down through here if we want to and just quickly do this. So can you see the calculator? So I'm going to say 1,489.92. That's what he started with. 1,489.92. And I'm going to do what? I'm going to subtract $12.92. And that gives me the, let's start over here. $1,489.92. Take away $12.92. And that's going to give me the 1477 number. Then I'm going to take away 2745. And that's going to give me the 1449.55 number. 162.09. The 1287.46 number, and then I add the deposit 730.43, and we get $2,017.89. Okay, so a little tedious, but you can do it by hand. You just have to be kind of careful. Now here's one where someone's paid this amount for the first 40 hours of work, and then this amount for overtime. Okay, so now we're going to have to do both calculations because we want to know how much the person made altogether. So what we have is we have 40 hours times $17.50, and then we have 9 hours times $26.25. So those will be two amounts, and we'll add them together and we'll get the total down here. So let me just come over and do this work over here. So I'm going to say 17.5 times 40 is 0. Is that right? It's like 70. 0, 4 5s is 20. I think that's 70. And then this is 9 times 26.25. 26.25 times 9. 9 5s is 45. 9 times 2 is 18 is 22. 6 9s is 54, and 2 is 56. 2 times 9 is 18, and 5 is 23. And what do we get? 2. I was just looking at this number. I counted off too many decimal places here. So this should have been not 70, but it should have been 700. So let me fix that. It should have been not 70, but it should have been 700. So I counted off too many decimal places. This one is 236.25. And so I think the answer is 936.25. 936.25, which is answer choice A. So 3 should be A, right? So again, not hard, just a little tedious, All right, so here's one where we had some temperatures that says the high temperatures have been these temperatures. Not very high, is it? And they would just want to know what the average is. So how do you do an average? Well, you add those things together. You add 17.2 plus 5.6 plus 5.7 plus 10.3. Take that total and divide it by 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 numbers here, okay? And so What do you think? You want to try to add these from left to right? Let's just see if we can get it done. You ready? So this will be 2, 8, 15, 18. Got a 1 to carry, right? So 1, 6, 11, 18. And I got a 1 to carry. 1 and 1 is 2, and 1 is 3. And then what? Divide that by 4. And so that's going to be about 4.7. No, I'm sorry. What did I do wrong here? 4 goes into 38 9 times. Yeah, 4 times 9 is, I had it, but so it's going to be 9.7. 4 times 9 is 36, 9.7. So the answer to 4 should be B. The answer to 4 should be B. Okay. So again, what we've asked you to do with many of these problems is to try to do this by hand, meaning without a calculator. You can certainly use a calculator to check it. If you've got a lot of tedious detail work to do, you might get a little frustrated with it. So like this one, it was kind of sloppy the way I wrote it, but we managed to kind of fumble through it and get these interim numbers right when we checked it on the calculator. So I think we've done these. And again, in these kind of problems, they're like there's two things we're trying to get done here. We're first of all trying to understand the problem. What is the problem asking me to do? And then secondly, we're trying to practice, if you will, our mental math skills by doing some of this or as much of it as we can without the use of a calculator. Now, I did use my calculator in some places, and I have to check it, and I would expect you to do the same.